What up, what up, what up? Back again, another great episode of First in Fantasy. It's your boy LQ, Mr. Real Deal Fantasy HQ. You see the face, you know the case. And my boy, of course, Zoe, was good with
What
it.
up? What
You
up?
checking in today.
Episode
All
8.
right.
RP Kobe. Let's
Episode
go.
8. We are flying through these, my guy. I mean, what hoodie you got on today? That better not be a Steelers hoodie.
No, it's Wu Tang. It ain't nothing.
Wu-Tang! Let's go.
Yeah, it
Okay.
ain't
A
nothing
little
to mess with.
nostalgia right there. I mean, it's technically fall here in LA. So, I had to put the fall colors on.
It's fall here
Summer's
too.
over.
Duval is
Eh,
about to experience a hurricane, and we're going to talk more
Hey,
about Duval.
we'll talk. I'm about to say
Yeah,
we'll get to Duval a little bit
exactly.
later in the show, but we got to kick it off with a very, very big subject right now in Philadelphia. I mean, are the Eagles back on track after beating a tough Saints defense? Like this Saints defense was playing lights out these last couple
hmm
of weeks, man. Like, I mean, did you watch the game? Like, you saw them get back on track, right? Low scoring
Absolutely.
game, but
Absolutely. It was a
yeah,
defensive minded game. I love defensive minded matchups. They both have great defenses, and coming in, the Saints has like a buzzsaw of an offense, scoring 40 points back to back. And it's just
yeah.
like, hey, the Eagles held them to 12 and they won the game. And then you got Saquon Barkley doing what he does, RB1. Like that's really a steal, honestly. Kind of wish I drafted him.
Yo, look, he back in PA now, so Say is going crazy.
He
Because
is.
wow, man, the Eagles. I gotta salute Eagles fans out there. Like it has to be amazing to embrace an actual workhorse running back. Like
Right.
you went through your DeAndre Swifts, like that just didn't really pan out. The Miles Sanders of the world. You even
hmm
had Jay Ajayi at one time. Like
Yo,
there was no real workhorse, in this Eagles backfield for so many years, so many seasons of just wasted invested money at the running back position, but Saquon is
yeah.
going crazy. He's about to have a historic, if I said that right, historic, fantasy season this year because
Right.
he is just going crazy. That O line, shout out to them,
Exactly,
man. I mean,
exactly. And honestly, it
sheesh.
gives me the vibes of like LaShawn McCoy. Like they
Yeah,
haven't had a running back of this caliber in such a long time. It's
that is such
honestly
a
good to
great
see.
comp.
It's good to see.
Yeah, that's a great comp right there when it comes to just thinking back to the last workhorse running back they had that was as elusive, as shifty
Shady,
as Saquon
shady.
Barkley. Shady. Let's move on to better
Yeah.
subjects.
Let's
But
go.
the Rams won, man. Like I hate the transition to be selfish on
Go
the
for it.
episode, of course, that we want to talk all 32 teams, but we had an amazing win, a comeback victory, a 14-point.
All right. Holy I tell you, that was. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Comeback victory against those whiners,
Mhm.
man. Like
That's what
I
you
can
call
go
them.
on and rant.
That's what you
The
call them.
whiners, yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, shout out to y'all. Y'all deserve that one. Y'all fought hard. As much as I don't like to see y'all prosper, I like to see y'all
Hey,
struggle. Much like your
why?
fantasy football team, but enough about that. Brandon
We're not gonna
Ayuk,
get
after everything Brandon Ayuk did this offseason, he's
he didn't practice. What did we
he
expect? Like you really thought he was about to come in
yes.
and put
Yes.
up 1,300 yards like that? Like, bro,
Yes.
he hasn't practiced all summer trying to
Exactly.
negotiate.
Exactly.
Like people need to remember, like, I understand these are athletes well
Mhm.
beyond our structure. Like these
Right.
are athletic, genetically just advanced, humans out there playing a very high level sport. But when you sit down for X amount of weeks and you're not in football shape to get back in football shape, you miss all of preseason. That's not just a snapping and go. You get up and get to it. Like, no, like I'm not no knock to Brandon Ayuk, but this whole offseason, we didn't see him posting workout videos while negotiating a new
hmm
contract. We just saw him playing the antics into the public and Twitter and
Yep.
having Jaden Daniels come with him to a podcast, like to up the the pressure. But it's like this dude was not working. Like he wasn't working out. He wasn't playing at a high level. Like what did we really expect from Brandon Ayuk? And that's why me personally, I faded him this year in fantasy.
Me
Like I
too.
did not even think about like trying to get max shares of it because I already knew like, hey, this guy hasn't played football in like for some time now. But that's
Right.
just my opinion on it.
Even with the talks like him going to my team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, like I would
Oh,
never love that idea, and it's just
yeah.
like you came into the season real late, no preseason, no
Yeah.
training camp, nothing, and
Yeah.
this is
Look
what
at the
people want to see.
injuries.
Yeah.
Look at the injuries, man. Like Debo, Kittle, Brock Purdy dealing with sore backness, Achilles with CMC that they don't want to really admit. Like this dude's been hurt for some time now. Like he.
And it doesn't help they don't have like a solid number 2 running back at the moment, but hey, let them get the touches. My
Whoa.
my number 2 Elijah Mitchell. Now I'm not talking about Jordan Mason.
Back.
Not
Oh
talking about
my.
not talking about Jordan Mason.
Back it up.
We'll back it up.
Because that's
We'll back
what
it
you're
up.
not about to do. You're
We'll back
not
it up.
about to disrespect Jordan Mason. You're not about to do that.
Okay.
Because you're
No disrespect.
Do you not see him run
You're
the ball?
talking about your rival team, by the way. You should just let me
I don't
get away
care.
with that. Oh,
It's my job to know all 32, and that's what I'm
you're
gonna
right.
do. They
This
they did
is
they
why
know
you
what
get
my
paid.
look. I'm in LA. I can say what I want. They know my loyalty because
Mhm.
I support. But anyway, you're crazy to say that they don't have a second running back, a RB2. It is Jordan Mason. It has always been Jordan Mason. We can
Has
go
it?
back to last season.
Last year it was Elijah Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell can't stay healthy.
Now, yeah,
That is
because of
his
it. Okay,
problem.
you're
He
right.
wakes up injured. And when he comes off of IR, he goes back to IR.
No, he'll
Like
have like one or two
insert here the
crazy
clip of the
games.
grandpa going in one door and then taking his hat off and then coming right back out. That's what
Yeah,
Elijah Mitchell is
you'll get like
doing
2
with
weeks.
football
You'll get
right now.
like 2 strong weeks out of him, and then it goes right back to Jordan Mason.
Who?
Elijah Mitchell.
No,
Okay,
never. It is
okay.
a dub. He's
Agree
not
to
ever
disagree.
coming off of IR.
Okay, agree to
Whatever.
disagree.
Moving on, transitioning to a hotter topic right now where me and you, we've had plenty of discussions about Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars.
Yes, we'd have.
And it's looking like, your boy was right from day one about
Okay,
this
so
certain person.
you can give me the floor now. I'll take the floor. I'll be the
Take the floor,
first
please. Because
on
I'm waiting for
behalf.
my apology to at the end. And you're right. So go ahead.
So, on behalf of the group chat, I apologize. You were halfway right. You were right about
How?
Trevor Lawrence, but Mac Jones is also not the answer. You saw what happened when he got in there.
Doug,
And listen,
he hasn't
I'll give
played
you credit.
football in a year.
I don't care. I don't care. He was there for training camp. He was there for preseason. You was hyping him up over in the offseason. You were right about Trevor Lawrence. He had a major setback. I don't know if it's a mental thing at this point because being called a generational talent and not really living up to expectations like this is kind of mind blowing. So,
Bro, you
hey,
had John Elway on this boy's jacket before even playing a
yeah,
snap in the NFL.
hmm
They also threw Andrew Luck on that boy's jacket
yep,
without him playing a NFL snap.
yeah. It was just a lot of it is for like the sake of Duval. Like we had his nickname is Sunshine. Sunshine came to Sunshine State, and the hype just builded and just kept going from there. And they had hope. And like I told you, like even barbershop talk, like these people are not happy at all.
Listen, here's the thing. Trevor Lawrence has all the weapons under the sun. There's so much money on this offense.
Hmm
It's insane. Like Christian Kirk signed the contract. He signed, and everybody was saying, like, yo, you're crazy. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's over. And he performed to that contract. Evan Ingram signed a contract. And I can say it looks like he's playing up to that contract.
Right.
Now you give a contract to Gabe Davis. You take a young
hmm
prospect in Brian Thomas Jr.
Which
that
I
you're
like.
hoping develops to eventually be a solid number 2 for an offense, but you can't even really establish your quarterback to play up to contract because that's nowhere near. He has not even played close
55
to
million.
his contract,
55
which
million.
is insane to me. But
No.
here's the thing. There's so much money invested. Like we
Yes.
need to really take a step back and reevaluate him from day one, including Urban Meyer, and figure out how is this happening?
I'm
How?
not sure. At this point, like you had 2 different head coaches, like you have multiple offensive coordinators. It's at what point is it you? You know, but not to like
And
dwell on Trevor Lawrence. There's a lot of high paid quarterbacks. Dak Prescott struggling, Danny Jones struggling, Joe Burrow struggling. I mean, these 55 million contract quarterbacks, they aren't performing either. So, but
I will say all of them have their own reasons.
right,
But out of all those reasons, Trevor Lawrence has really the best situation out of all of them.
Uh,
He's had an entire offseason with this team.
I would
He's had
say
Gabe Davis in camp.
Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott as well, and I guess Jordan Love, but he's injured. But
But here's the thing: Chase sat out. Chase sat out. T. Higgins was hurt. So you
yeah,
don't
that
play
is
your
true.
starting
That is
quarterback
true.
all preseason. You're not even playing with a full developed offense that you're hoping to work.
Right.
You've been creating this. He's got, Yoshi Land, the guy from Princeton, Andreas Yoshivis, Yoshi.
Yosevas,
How do you say it?
Yosevas.
Yoshivas,
Yep.
Yoshavas. You have
Yep.
him really clicking, stepping up in that Tyler Boyd role, but more so, it's like you still haven't seen this team fully click together.
Right.
So it's like he's having this slow start. But
Right.
then now we're looking at Trevor Lawrence. What's wrong with his camp situation? He had all his players, even the newcomers.
One thing I do like, I gotta look into that whole line. How is Dash doing? Does he have time? I gotta look. I gotta deep dive. I gotta pull up the all 22 and see what is going on. Is it just mental errors? Do you have enough time? I don't get it. I will say Christian Kirk did show out finally. That's his bread and butter. Whenever Trevor Lawrence does well, is with Evan
Yes.
Ingram and Christian Kirk catching the ball. We'll see what happens moving
Most
forward.
definitely, man. Like I feel like Christian Kirk, they're honestly probably going to move on soon once his contract expires. Parker
Right.
Washington is the backup, so I think there's some promising future there for him. But it's more so like you got to look at that quarterback position, man. Like what are we doing here with Trevor Lawrence? And
Mm-hmm.
fantasy is obviously not even a question. I would never draft him. I would never even try to like play fake that he's a QB1. Like
Yeah.
he's a QB2 with low QB2 upside. You know what I mean? Like week to week, it's not something that you could really bank on. But
That's
more
honestly,
so,
I was gonna say that's honestly how I feel about Justin Herbert. Not really a good quarterback for fantasy purposes.
mm, he's hurt right now, man. He's hurt.
And
He's
who
hurt
hurt
right
him?
now. But wow, that's what we champion injuries.
We're
That's how
not
you coming?
championing injuries. We're championing a hard nosed defense that you have yet to give credit. Number one now. But we'll continue.
Y'all play. Here's the thing, y'all playing out of y'all mind. I will give you
Hmm.
that. As I'm doing research on trying to figure out one how y'all hurt him because I don't
Cam
remember.
Hayward, it was a split sack. Cam Hayward fell on his ankle. That was already injured.
Oh, see, oh, that's crazy.
I
You
know the
trying to
play. I
just
watched it.
yeah? How many times you sicko? Like this is a sick man right here.
Listen,
Sick man.
I didn't wasn't worried about that. 3-0, by the
Anyway,
way.
let's get into
Three
week
and
4,
zero.
man. There is some great matchups coming up.
Yes. Which ones you had your eyes on?
Thursday night football, man. That's
Oh,
really what I want to iron out because looking at the Cowboys defense, yikes.
yikes indeed. Everyone, please. I know I'm not
Who you got?
the fantasy expert here, but please start Malik Neighbor. He is going to go off
Oh
in
yeah.
Showtime. He's a star in the making, and I'm glad I got him.
First of all, if you're not starting Malik Neighbors at this point, you clearly do not want to win your league because the
Yep.
target share is ridiculous. Danny Dimes is honing in on him, but this Cowboys defense is atrocious right now.
Mhm.
232 rushing yards per game in the last 2 weeks. That is disgusting.
It
So if the
is.
Giants actually want to win, and this is why I think Devin Singletary is a must start for week 4, just based on the matchup. Like he should be heavily involved in this offense in Thursday night football because they can't stop anything on the defensive line. Like I really think Eddie Lacy off the couch today could put up 100 yards against this Cowboys defense. Like,
Oh my gosh.
wow.
Not Eddie Lacy.
Jeez.
Not
Eddie Lacy at the current weight that he is at right now.
No, man. No. You're better off with Steve
Yes.
Jackson coming back.
Hey, Action Jackson could probably put up a nice 120 right now. I ain't gonna hold you. He's still in shape.
Right.
I met him 2 years ago,
Yeah,
so
I know.
you know. That boy is still big. He will probably truck somebody right now.
He can run through a brick wall still.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, obviously Malik Neighbors is a start.
Right.
Obviously, I think, in my opinion, Devin Singletary is a start. But which Cowboys outside of CD Lamb do you think you could start this week?
Nobody.
Just straight up nobody.
Do you want to go with Turpin? I don't know. At this point, it's
I I like Jalen though. I just feel like we gotta wait until we can see something consistent.
Right.
Like they still need to figure stuff out. Like over there on the offense as well. CD Lamb
I mean,
screaming at
Ferguson,
Dak. That
it's literally,
Fergie's back.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's literally CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson, and everyone
that's it.
else. That's it.
And the run game is piss poor. So it's like I really I
And
just don't know. I
honestly,
really don't
it's
know
pretty
like
bad
if you
what
can
Jerry
start
did.
anybody.
Like, why didn't you sign Derrick Henry? Could have got J.K. Dobbins or Gus
Why he
Edwards,
lying
something.
though?
I don't know.
Why like you bro, you are like if the Cowboys got Joe Mixon,
Joe
bro,
Mixon, yeah, another one. Like, come
his
on.
fantasy stock would have went crazy.
Yes.
Like he would have been a first round pick. That's what's crazy. He would have been on the back end of
Yeah,
that
back
first
end.
round if
Probably
he
would
would
have
have went to
booted
the
Gibbs. He
Cowboys.
probably would have booted Gibbs to the second round, and that would have been that.
Yep.
So,
Oh yes. Like if we can go back, like just get somebody just mailed Jerry like a video of just explaining why you should go out there and invest in a running back because Dak works best when play action is working.
yes.
Like what are we doing? We're not. That's why Dak wants to get paid now because he know y'all are going to crash and burn this organization. I
Hmm.
mean, come on, like it has to make sense.
And it doesn't. And it doesn't. But
No,
listen, Jerry runs it. This is what Jerry's going to do until the day he passes away. And
I just feel
God bless
like
all the Cowboys fans.
I just feel like now with this offense, you can't trust any of them as fantasy options outside of CD, and this includes Ferguson. Like I feel like Fergie coming back from the injury, him playing the way he played last week is fine. Like I think he still had a solid target share, but it's more
Right.
so if he gets hurt again, like do I want anything to do with this Cowboys offense in December? Like fantasy playoffs, man, matter.
I mean, I do like the backup tight end Shoemaker,
Yeah, Luke
something.
Shoemaker. Yeah,
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 him.
yeah.
He's cool. He's solid, but he's not a Ferguson. He's not going to be
He's
as
not
dynamic.
he's not Fergie, man. That chemistry
Hmm.
matters. The timing, being in sync with Dak is so important for this offense to be able to go downfield and be able to put up some points. Like
Right.
you look at Dak last week, like I don't think it was more so on him making the errors. It's just that the plays weren't executing, man. Like it's just like it's another tough loss at the crib. Like what they got
Yeah.
to do to get it together, and like my fantasy rosters are suffering that where I'm having Ferguson or I'm trying to take on a Jalen Tolbert, but the run game, never wanted anything to do with it.
Yeah, no, not at all. But speaking of run games, I know we touched based on this a little bit. Carolina Panthers, my boy Jonathan Brooks is coming soon. And how do
Ooh,
you
winter
feel?
is coming.
Yeah, how do you feel about Chuba Hubbard and his performance last week, and what
See,
impact is this going to have?
here's the thing about Chuba. Like I always felt like there's something there,
Right,
but things just have to go perfectly right for him for things to go the way they did last week, like putting up over 100 yards. This is
right.
something that has always been within him. It's just that certain things on the offense need to offense,
Yes.
basically. But having Andy Dalton back in, it gives this offense a new spark. It gives them hope. Like that win
Hmm.
that they got, they needed that. Like you just see the locker room just surround and support Andy Dalton. And if
Yep.
this offense is going to be ran by him, the running game goes up. They lose Adam Thielen, but you saw him play out of his mind with that catch in the end zone, bro. Like
Yes. Like,
it
how
took
old
his
is he?
hammy out because you
How
ain't
old is he?
21 no more, brother.
Right. Like, don't
Come
be doing
on.
that. Come on.
You
Make
not you not 20 something no more,
Hey,
my guy.
that's
Them
that's one
30s.
thing.
Bro, he ran his heart out, but he caught it.
He
Them
caught it.
hands is still handing. Like
Listen.
Adam Thielen probably still got like 21-year-old hands to where he's able to still catch and perform like that.
Right.
But them hammies, my brother,
They're
that's
not the
what took
same.
him out.
They're
Like
not the same. Like,
he
he's
was running
loyal. He's
so
loyal to his
hard,
thing. You could tell that the drive that he had for that. He put it
bro.
on the line
He
instead of making
caught
a
it and
business
just
decision.
laid there. That's that, yo. That's the last
Oh
run I'm
man,
gonna
that
have for the
was.
rest of the
Imagine if
season,
he landed in the Yamcha pose, just like, yeah,
bro. The Yamcha
yeah, it would have been
pose.
crazy.
Oh,
We're gonna pull that
DBZ.
up.
Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna pull
Molly,
that
if you
up.
get a Yamcha pose right here for my guy Adam Thielen side by side,
Yes,
that'd be
imagine.
amazing for the edit.
But
Oh
that would have
my
been like
god.
legendary, honestly. But
Somebody needs to do that as a celebration, bro. Like do the Yamcha pose in the celebration. Oh,
somebody's
that'd be
gonna do it.
so
Jamal Williams will probably
somebody
do
gotta
it.
do it. I just gotta keep tweeting players now. Now I gotta get
Hmm.
heavy on the Twitter game, man. Wow, 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 wow. But yeah, Jonathan Brooks coming back to a solid structured offense in in Carolina. That's definitely great for them. That's great for fantasy managers just
Right.
waiting to take him off the IR. Just waiting to take him off IR and put him in our starting lineups. And if this offense is going to be playing the way they've been playing, oh boy, the
Yeah.
fantasy
It's
playoffs are
gonna
going
be
to look
crazy.
so
It's gonna be
good. It's
surprising.
going to look crazy. Like just imagine Jonathan Brooks hitting the ground running right now, and it's week 6, and he goes
Hmm.
on a 4-game streak tear, bro. What?
Can't wait.
Come
Can't
on.
wait. Oh,
Can't wait.
let's sidetrack a little bit. How's Deutschland doing? Please. How's
Dorchland is under maintenance.
under
I
maintenance?
don't want to close the
Mm.
pod on some down vibes. Like the
Mm.
frequency was up, and then you want to bring up Greg Dortch when you know it ain't what it's
Listen,
supposed to be right now.
I feel like
So
for
Dorchland is under maintenance. We're fixing the rides. We're
exactly
getting some
we
things
need
boarded up.
the people need
It's
daily
I
updates. They need to be rest
no
assured
no no
that
no no
Deutschland is good to
no no no
go.
no. That's not how the theme parks work. Because if Six Flags is closed, they're not going to tell you why they closed. They're just going to be closed for the day for maintenance.
All
Because they're not
right,
going to tell you one of the
all right.
rides is missing about 4, 5 seatbelt and the goddamn wheel in the front is somewhere down the highway. They're not
Yeah,
going to tell you that. They're
they
not
won't,
going to give you the weekly updates. They just like we closed, we got
and that's why we
open when
got
we open.
spectators taking their cameras and recording. We gonna get to the bottom of Deutschland.
Nah,
Best
mind your
believe,
business.
and
Stay
that's
over
me
there
with
on
the
the other
camera.
side of the moat.
Okay,
You're not welcome to Dorchland. Listen, this has been another great episode of First in Fantasy. Please make sure you guys are liking this video and give us
thumbs
feedback
up,
on how
thumbs
we're
up.
doing,
Let's
man.
go.
Like we want to feel the love. Like we want to get our names out there, man. And Zoe, of course, where can they see your ugly mug or where they can follow your content?
Okay, they can follow me on Twitter or X, whatever they call it. It's going to be Duce, not Deuce. And on Instagram, it's going to be MF_Duce. That's where you can find me.
This has been another great episode of First in Fantasy. It's your boy LQ, Mr. Real Deal Fantasy HQ. You guys can follow me on all social media platforms. Until next time, folks. Peace. You're talking real estate. You're talking money down. You're talking down money media.